Do you think politics is stupid? Do you know what anarchy is? Really? Have you ever watched the news and thought, they're lying to me? Have you ever tried to make sense of the internet? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Sidetracked. Sit back, relax, pour, light, and lament as Bo Hotchkiss takes Scott Culberson on a guided tour of the rabbit hole.
Motherfucker.
What?
You broke
What do you
out
think?
the harmonicas for that. That was nice.
I did. I don't always do that. I save it.
You know, I'm gonna find that guy
What guy?
that taught you how to play harmonica, and we're gonna beat your ass together for not doing it more.
Well, I wouldn't say he taught me.
You can tell him.
He actually didn't teach me. He didn't teach me how to do it.
He's done it like twice for me. He's played harmonica for me twice, and in the 10 years I've known him. And he's just going to start beating you with a stick, and I'm going to cheer him on.
He didn't show me how. All he did was say, all right, you should buy one, buy a cheapo, try it out for a while, see if you think it's something you even want to go down that road. And then after that, really the big lesson was when I lost my harmonicas. I had like 2 expensive Lee Oscars I took to a bar for a gig. We did the gig. I set my stuff down on a table and then went about the rest of the night and came back to the table and they were gone. And then we went the next morning.
Stole them?
Somebody stole them, and we went back the next morning.
Dude, that means
coffee.
they're cursed instruments.
What, the stolen ones? Oh, yeah, I don't envy that guy at all.
They're cursed instruments.
We went back the next morning, and we're sitting there, and I'm talking to the bartender. I'm like, Ed, you didn't happen to see any harmonicas or anything, right? And he's like, no, sorry, dude. And I'm talking to Dave, saying, man, I don't know what to do. Fucking somebody stole my harmonicas. He's like, somebody stole your harmonicas? I'm like, yes, I set them on the table next to my coat. I didn't think any. Who steals the fucking harmonica? You know, I'm putting my fucking lips all over it. You're going to go steal it? That's kind of gross, but whatever. And, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I said to him, I guess I'm going to have to save my money.
That's a thing that goes way back in history, that stolen instruments get cursed, like cursed bad.
Yeah.
So those harmonicas are cursed.
So I said to him, I said, I guess I gotta save up and buy some more. And he looks at me with this look and he says, save up. He says, dude, fuck eating, go buy more harmonicas.
Yeah. And
that was kind of my eye-opener moment where I was like, oh, there's a level of seriousness to this I never even considered.
Yeah.
And that pretty much changed. That's what did it. That's what got me into music. Anyways.
Hey, I talked to Little Dicky the other day. I'm going to go by his place here in the near future and try to grip some strings out of him. So as soon as I get some strings out of him, if I can, I'm going to string up the Godin. I'm going to try to play on his sympathies, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That should work. He's an old blues legend, so,
Yeah.
I don't.
He's
one
of these.
Like,
we know a guy.
I don't want him to think I'm just going over there for that. So.
Right. Well, tell him you want to hear him play, because that's really why you probably are going anyways.
Yeah.
Let's jam for a while. Yeah. Anyways, all right, so we've got a bunch of topics today. We do have a guest that's going to be coming on. Whenever you're ready, buddy, just go ahead and hit 1. Anarchyball wanted to join us from Twitter and, many other places on the Internet. But, okay, he's ready. He wanted to talk about an upcoming debate that he's having.
Okay, what's holding him up? Is his hands cramping from jerking off or something?
No. Anarchyball.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
How
How's it going?
Doing? Good. Yeah, I wanted to talk about my upcoming debate with Sargon of Akkad, which will be in about a week. He's on vacation right now, and so I will be facing him up with his recent video about his response to questions for statists. I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but
I haven't. I have to make one.
Yeah,
I have to make a response.
He basically went full statist on this video, and he said, "Well, no one's a statist." Just basically ignoring the fact that there's a lot of people who advocate for the state and they don't want to be called a statist. It's like saying, well, you are a female supremacist, but you want to be called, feminist instead of female supremacist. It's that same sort of vibe. But yeah, he went full statist on it, and there's lots of good responses to his video. One I would recommend is Shane Killian on YouTube. If you look him up, look up Shane Killian's response to Sargon of Akkad, and he just kills it. He kills it for an hour and some change. But,
right.
Yeah. So in about a week, once he gets back from vacation, wherever he's going, whatever he's doing, I'll murder him. It's not even going to be a contest.
So when's the debate then? When is it?
Well, we don't know exactly the time and date. It's going to be about a week. He said he would debate us on Monday, right? And this is Ben, by the way. I run the Twitter channel, and I also post memes on the Facebook page. But unfortunately, Keith won't be able to make it on whatever date because he's not as good in person as he would like to be. So I'm going to take over from that point. So
okay.
It's going to be basically me versus him. I recently did a stint speaking for Adam Kokesh when he came down and did a appearance at University of Maryland. And I feel like, I've sort of got the territory covered, and I know where he's going to be going with this. It's going to be the standard, well, you consent by being born sort of statist argument. So that's where we're going to be at.
Nice. Yeah, I had a pretty interesting conversation yesterday. I don't know if you caught it with a number of people that, oh my gosh, I could not believe some of the things coming out of this poor kid's face. He actually said, okay, it's fact that things are better under Obama. And I went, oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't know people like you exist.
And you wonder why I've all but completely abandoned my Twitter account, right?
Yeah, no,
and
I don't.
Now I've got an idea because I've never really officially had a Facebook account. But if I start one, I think it'll die. So I think I'm going to get in contact with Facebook and tell them, if you don't pay me $1 million, I'm going to start an official Facebook account, and you'll die. But if you pay me $1 million, I won't.
Well,
I won't do it.
The thing I like about Twitter is the fact that you've got such brevity, right? you can't have people saying, hey, I'm writing this giant book, which they do on Facebook in the comment section. And they say, you have to read all of this stuff so that you can respond to all of my fallacious claims. Like, the thing I go back to is what I call the cucumber assism rule. And I don't know if you've seen the cucumber assism meme, but basically it goes like this. If you can't explain it in a paragraph or less, your opinion is completely invalid. You've got to be able to explain why you're refuting the point that somebody else is presenting, or else what you have to say is useless. Right? So anytime I do debate stuff like that, I try to keep it on Twitter.
That falls under the guidelines of the amount of energy it takes to refute bullshit is double the amount or less than the amount it takes to create the bullshit. So
right.
Close.
Yeah,
it's close on somewhat of the same level. Now, when you're spewing, because again, commies in general have a rule where they try to exhaust their opponent. Like, they don't have anything real to say, but they've got a bunch of assumptions that they want to spew out in the form of a manifesto, right? And so you'll get 16 paragraphs of manifesto, all of which are just baseless assumptions, right? And you have to refute every claim that they make using baseless assumptions.
Yeah, you're right. I should ask Facebook for like 3 million because I will be a thorn in their side the entire time they die.
Yeah, this guy that I was speaking to yesterday had the gall to actually say business itself is coercive, and it initiates force.
Because you're trading value.
Pretty much
value
everybody that saw that, it was like the entire internet face palmed for a second because business is coercive. That's counterintuitive to business.
That's like I'm not going to mention her name because I hate her that much. But there was a radio personality that I heard talking about the tenets of Burning Man. And the only tenet of Burning Man she could understand was leave no trace. The rest of it, about the inclusion of everyone no matter what, and the free commerce about it and all that just lost her. She was lost on all of that, and the only thing she agreed with was leave no trace. And it's
Jesus Christ. Like,
man,
okay, Burning Man is
like
sort of.
She's a popular fucking radio personality, and that bugs the hell out of me. That opinion, that she degraded those ideals so much, and by just dismissing them.
Well,
it burned my butt.
You got to go into a little bit of history behind Burning Man, right? And Burning Man is not that. You have to understand that there are dozens of burn circles on the East Coast. There are many burn circles in Middle America, and there are many more.
There's cultures within cultures there that they're completely unaware of because they're dismissive of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They assume they know everything about it because they see Burning Man, but they don't know all of the market essentials behind it. Now, this is what I call market myopia, right? These people are so unaware of it that they just call it communism and just leave it at that, right? It's not.
Yeah.
These people are making a living off of what they're doing, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's like
leave them alone.
And that's exactly like when people see other people just sharing and they call it socialism. No, that's not socialism.
Crazy.
Somebody shared something with somebody else. That doesn't make it socialism.
They don't want to not share. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But here we are as a society where socialism is basically pollution. It's polluting the market with these ideas that are just non-founded. they can't come up with a logical explanation for it, and it's disgusting. And I think the biggest issue that ANCAPs can have is when they have to change their tone. Like, you've got to keep your tone because these people are so disgusting they will rob and destroy a beautiful industry like art because of their feelings. And that's disgusting. I don't understand how people can get to that point, but at the same time, I see the propaganda. I know how it's propagated, and these people just keep going on and on and on about it. And that's what socialism is. It just muddies the water. You know, there's no actual evidence for what they're claiming, but they just keep muddying the water. And it's, you know, it's a war of attrition. So you've got to fight that war of attrition with logic.
Right. Well, and unfortunately, emotion doesn't usually fit into logic, especially with those types who favor.
Well, I mean, it does.
Socialism.
You just got to get to the root of it, and that's the problem. Is they try to muddy the waters with a massive amount of bullshit, and the more bullshit, the less easy it is to get to the actual root of the problem. And that's what I want to get to.
What's sad is the tactic they use to combat that is by muddying their water with bullshit, and it becomes like this giant quagmire.
Self-perpetuating culture of bullshit.
Somebody I know just recently got kicked off of a public Facebook site. And they got kicked off of it because there was a post about Gary Johnson raising in the polls. You know, it showed the polls, and it showed that his numbers were increasing. And her post was, well, that's because Trump and Hillary are terrible choices. Instantly. It didn't matter. Trump and Hillary both are terrible choices. They kicked her off the site.
Jesus. The feelings are just dominating.
What credibility does that lead to anything? Anything at all, you know? That entire site lost any credibility to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anarchyball, are you going to be getting on Gab anytime, or have you already signed up? Or?
I think Gab would be an interesting format. What I usually use for when I'm doing live streaming.
And I've thought about playing the Gab angle in my Facebook blackmail. If Facebook pays me an extra $1 trillion, I'll join Gab instead. And that way Gab will die and Facebook will continue. But it will cost them $1 trillion.
Yes. Opportunity cost.
You know. And it's just $3 million for me to not join Facebook. It's just $3 million. That's what I'm going to ask to not join Facebook. And it'll be $1 trillion, and I'll join Gab and destroy them, I guess. I don't know what it is about me that when I join something, it dies.
Well, again,
I mean, Twitter is on the way out. Hell, YouTube's on the way out. What are you going to do when fucking Anarchyball, you can't even fucking post a YouTube video because, there's politics involved, and that's against the rules.
Example. Well, I made a YouTube channel, and now YouTube's dying. See?
That's true.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I propose that we go to LiveLeak, but, you know, or not even LiveLeak. What's it called? There's, you know, one of those other ones that has, you know, moderately risque. Yeah. There's
Vimeo.
Risque,
there's Vivo.
Stuff like that. Yeah, Vivo.
There's plenty of alternatives already. Yeah.
Because, okay, Keith, our YouTube guy, did a video of a feminist who is getting abused. I don't know if you guys follow eFuckit.
No.
There's a video on eFuckit of a feminist saying that she was getting abused in solidarity for all of the women, the 4 out of 5 women on campus who get, you know, sexually assaulted. Of course, you know, the bullshit statistics. So she's getting her face spit in. She's getting fucked in the ass. All the rest of this degrading shit. And she's saying she's doing solidarity.
Okay. Is this the same person that carried the mattress around?
I'm not sure if that's the same person, but it was just a porn video was just
What's
disgusting.
she doing like on Wednesdays?
Oh, believe me, you don't want to have anything to do
I'm
with this.
sorry, that was horrible. That was horrible.
That was
terrible.
It's funny, but... to do with it. Anyway, so like we made a video and immediately it was flagged by YouTube, despite the fact that we edited everything down. You could see shoulders, and that's it. And her commentary about feminism, and that's it. But then
whoa.
said, "Oh,
was she? Wait. Clarify.
That's what I should have done with the new AVI. Is claimed I was a feminist on Twitter. That's what I think I'm going to do.
There you go.
But wait, Anarchyball. When they were zoomed in on like a shoulder, and she's doing commentary. Is the commentary after the fact, or are they in the act and she's doing commentary? Because that is interesting.
She's getting spit on. As she's talking about feminism, she's getting
You're kidding
spit
me.
on. No, I'm
how
not.
Do they maintain? How do they maintain?
Is this is this on Pornhub?
No.
I haven't seen this on Pornhub.
No. This is on eFuckit. You just go check out the video. It's hilarious. She's saying, "I am enjoying getting degraded because of all of these women."
It would be more. I don't know.
I
think she'd get more views on Pornhub if she was getting degraded while she was saying it.
Yeah, exactly. As much as it's painful to admit that that's true. It is true. She would get a lot more attention on Pornhub. That's very sad but true.
I think this video particularly was a editing room floor one because she's not very attractive, and obviously she's a feminist. So.
Well, nobody's very attractive. Have you seen Pornhub?
Well,
not everybody's Brad Pitt.
I was going to say, yeah, dude. It's not. The internet is a place for everyone, and there are people with all tastes.
And then when you see your own penis on video, that's a different story because you're like, wow.
I mean, just the desperation of the fact that a woman would put herself through this in solidarity for people that don't exist. It's just mind-boggling.
I don't think that word applies there. She's more in solidarity with those fellas.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest about the situation.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it's so insane right now, and I think it's
This is the most insane time to be alive. This is the most insane time to be alive because we're at the... It's like this. It's like the Dark Ages. No, listen. It's like the Dark Ages were the worst of times. And like right now, we have the technological advancements where we're at the height of time, and we're breaking through to the other side of the Dark Ages, but with the technological advances, right?
I have already said that was 20 years ago for me. I think every generation goes through this, and you have just reached your pinnacle point in your generation that is like,
is it a pinnacle or is it
you know what?
Point?
You guys fucking take care of it yourself. You know what? I'm done.
Well, right. That's all you can do. That's all you can do right now is say, I'm done. I'm going to watch. I'm just going to watch this happen.
I am not going to pull that out of your ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I will
sit
here and
watch this unfold.
I'm just going to watch this unfold, yes.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Okay, well, we're at a point right now where feminism has reached and is now on the downhill. Where do we go from here? Do we go in the opposite direction? Do we swing the pendulum over to say, well, women should just be in the kitchen, and therefore we should elect only people who write laws for kitchen?
The big evil people are going to be convinced that they're wrong until they're dead. And that's where we've reached the rub, the impasse. It's like,
I don't
we
think
tried
so.
to warn you. And I was just hoping Ron Paul would get his message across by running But
again, there are
more stupid people than there are smart people. Idiocracy is now.
Competing economies at the base of reality.
Have you seen that movie, Idiocracy?
Yeah, I have. And
it is now. We are living that now.
We're close to it. But I think there are two competing economies that are existing at this moment and have existed since the dawn of time, and that's the political economy.
What do you mean by that? What two economies? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Clarify.
Here it is. The political economy and the productive economy. The productive economy tries to influence the political economy, but in essence, the political economy only steals from the productive economy. Therefore, they are more influenced by the voters in the political economy than they are actually producing the stuff that people want. It's a very simple concept.
You really should troll us more.
Okay, I will. But that's the dichotomy. That's what exists, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's about to get very interesting.
Economy?
I think it's going to get even more interesting. Well, first off, in this whole internet age thing, I'm thinking we should get into a few of the topics that we have laid out for tonight because we've only got like 18 minutes left.
We have topics?
We do.
We talk about my sandals. My sandals broke today. We've
got like 18 minutes left of the show. It's a short show. We just do this every Friday for fun. But so I think what we're talking about here, dual economies, that type of thing, is it's pivotal on the main topic for tonight, which was the U.S. handing over control of the internet and the future of the internet. Now, first off, the misconception is people don't understand that they're just handing over the address book, which is where that's where all of the fucking websites are placed, right? And so the government's big concern is, they could get control. Other places could get control of .military and .gov and blah 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 blah. Not that big of a deal if you're an average citizen. In fact, it would be rather entertaining to see the government fucking.
Yeah, I know hackers. I know hackers that could do it now. So
right. Now, but so all they're handing over is the domain naming system, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are losing their minds over this, but
very lowsy.
There's a few other interesting parts about this, right? So because I am overcoming a cold, but anyway, so four attorneys general have sued the government because of this. Arizona, Oklahoma, Nevada, and Texas, in order to stop it, which, from what I've heard, it's kind of on a standstill. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. Here's the really big kicker to all of this, and this is via Observer.com. I don't regularly read them, so I don't know if they're a liberal publication or not. I imagine all publications are liberal until proven otherwise. But they say here a second internet is coming soon, courtesy of the blockchain.
Hey,
which,
you know what?
On face value alone, to me, that says this is the market responding
to. Let me stop you right there.
necessity.
Let me stop you right there and make my point. I have often said that, and I'll say it to Google right now. I'll say it to Twitter right now, and I'll say it to Facebook right now. You better see me coming. You better give me my fucking $3 million, because if you don't fucking do it, the kids will run off and do their own fucking thing.
Right.
They'll create their own internet, and you're fucking gone.
Right. They're not looking for their own internet. It's okay.
But that's the inevitability.
The internet on the blockchain.
When you put it into the equation, when you use the Hegelian dialect on it, and you create a thesis and antithesis, it always evolves into synthesis, and the synthesis to it's easy as each generation of kids wears their own style of clothing. It's as simple as that. They're going to be along the wayside because of Moore's law even faster. Because of Moore's law, it'll happen even faster, and the kids will run out. 8 and 9-year-olds will create their own internet on a cell phone. Watch. It'll happen.
Well, again, what you're assuming is that they'll allow that. If you put it on the blockchain, what they're
right?
exactly. The very first thing that they're going to do is they're going to say everyone not on this certain encryption frequency is eliminated from this new internet. Right? That's what the establishment does, is they create exclusionary environments. And they're going to say, well, okay, you can't interact with this environment, therefore you have no right to interact. And you have to agree to this long list of what we consider is acceptable content, right? But again, the very first thing that's going to predicate this is a massive internet failure, because they have to have that. You know?
But who's the person? Who exactly says you have to fall within these guidelines?
There's an I-911.
What he just said is exactly why they're getting rid of broadband transmission. Exactly what he said is why they're getting rid of broadband transmission.
What do you mean getting rid of broadband?
Engineers. There have been engineers for decades right now that have said there will be a new I-911. Kill the old internet, the free internet, and bring in a blockchain internet that you cannot access without their specific encryption. And they'll just cancel it. That's the crazy part.
And you know where some of the technology some of the software for that came from is Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, that's not Bitcoin's fault. Again, Bitcoin was a way to do things. Now, again, they're not going to kill the dark web.
I have often said that Bitcoin was a test market.
Yeah,
Bitcoin
we
was
both
a test market. And what better way to test the market than through the black market? Through guns, drugs, criminal activity. What better way to test a market than through a black market? I mean, come on.
What they're doing is educating people. Unfortunately, the unintended consequence of their actions is going to be to educate people in how to encrypt themselves and how to code themselves invisible. That's what people are going to learn from this.
Right.
That's the crazy part. What they're doing now is they're showing people how to get to the dark web. They're showing people how to encrypt to the dark web, and they're showing people how to make money off of the dark web. And every time they try to act against it, they will fail.
Right.
Simple as that.
Well, yeah. Every time the system, or not the system, every time the government tries to restrict the system, at least historically speaking, in the past few hundred years, something has always overcome it, at least in America. I don't know about other countries, but in America, the amazing part about Americans is there's always an innovator who can go around everything. And then, they go, we need new regulations because we didn't foresee this happening. That's always fucking happened in this country, all the time. Yeah. It's never stopped.
And the long game should be our goal. And the long game has not been won yet, and they will never win it as long as they're trying to restrict the free market. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. All they're doing, what they're doing right now, with all of that, what you just said, all that does is bolster anarchism.
Yeah.
All it's going to do is create a giant flavor in the marketplace where people will develop a palate for anarchism and go, you know what, it really sounds, the more and more we go down this fucking road, it sounds much more palatable to just not have this whole thing we call a government.
Yep. That's the point. That's the point. And where we're going now, I don't think ICANN can stop us. I don't think that the government restricting through their proxies of Facebook and Twitter can stop us. I don't think anyone at this point can stop us because everything is emergent. We're in an emergent period, which is so frustrating because everybody knows what's happening, but nobody's willing to take the opportunity cost of stepping over that curtain line. And that's where we're at, is that opportunity cost is holding people back. But it only takes one person, right? I mean, Satoshi was one guy who wrote the fucking white paper. That's where we're going. The more encrypted they make it, the more easy it is for the black market to thrive. Anyway, that's my take.
Well, but on top of all of this, we have other problems cropping up in the marketplace that other people probably don't pay attention to. One of them, we've got a bunch of topics tonight. Well, not a whole lot, but a few. We've got AI writing pop songs. We've got a fucking chair that's touted as the key to productivity. Even though, when you look at it, you go, man, I saw the movie WALL-E. It was a kid's movie where there's all these fat slobs in chairs, and they're touted around in the chairs. That's what this fucking chair looks like. And they're saying it's the key to productivity. You know, and I'm going, okay, we're in a marketplace right now where they think there's a demand for, hey, man, nobody gives a shit about art. Let's just have a computer pump out fucking music, all right? And it's the problem is they've created the falsehood that, okay, pop music, this is why it's popular. No. Pop music is popular because these record companies put out music that they pay for. They pay for pretty faces and tits. And then they go, all right, we'll fucking auto-tune the shit out of it, and then whatever. And then we'll go pay Clear Channel to push it on all their radio stations. And when they push it on all their radio stations, people go, well, it has to be the popular song because it's on all of the stations, right? It's logical. No, it's not logical.
What do you think this program hasn't been in existence for 10 years?
Hang on a sec. I can't even fucking hear Anarchyball over whatever the hell. Are you playing Pigs on the Wing?
All right, well, what I was saying is, what do you think stops them from reporting this 10 years after the fact?
Reporting what 10 years after the fact?
About a computer program that makes pop music.
Oh, well, yeah, that is definitely very late, right? Because, Japan has had holographic pop stars. Holographic pop stars.
Yep.
And not like, well, they couldn't be here tonight. No, it's like an anime person, and it's a pop star.
So what I'm saying is, what do you think makes you think that the pop music from the last 10 years hasn't been purely manufacturing?
Oh, no, I know it is. We've talked about it many times on the show.
Oh, that goes right down to the quote from Simon Cowell from American Idol. They didn't do that to make the next pop star. They did that to make good TV.
Yep.
You know, and it goes farther back than that.
What sucks the most about it is that they say this type of stuff in front of the American people, and they're all right with it.
How do we know that they're not oppressing the next AI program that is self-aware?
We don't. You're not allowed to know that shit.
We don't. You're not allowed to know that. And
I think the singularity has already happened.
The moon is a harsh mistress.
I think the singularity has already happened.
It might have.
Yeah.
How would we know?
Might have. How would you know? They're not going to
have to have a number to call that machine and ask it questions and get specific answers to know it. in context of what computers can and cannot do. And I think The Moon is a Harsh Mistress was a very important book to the elites. I don't know if you've read it or not, but it's a sci-fi novel by Robert Heinlein, and it's about that very thing. What if machines can be self-aware and identify and empathize with the human condition? The very first thing that would happen is the elites would manipulate it against the people they would empathize with.
Now I saw another little bit of fiction about the exact same subject where the machine manipulated the people.
Well, again,
and not only that, but that was the ultimate test for the machine, because they were testing the machine to see how far it could progress to become one of us. And if it could show that it has manipulated one of us, that was one of the tests that it passed. And not only did it manipulate one of us in the fictional tale, but it killed us to get us out of the way.
Okay.
Well,
here's
on top
an
of that,
interesting question that comes down to what you're talking about, is what if the test is manipulated by the AI that understands human nature because it has a portion of that human nature programmed into it unintentionally, and says, I will manipulate you into thinking that I'm manipulating humans so that I can manipulate you to get rid of any impediment to freedom, i.e., humans cannot think for themselves anymore.
Man,
that
takes me back to a book I read when I was younger, and about 14, 15 years old, and it was called Mockingbird, where they had created AI, and it was so ingrained, and it was immortal. It was immortal, and it couldn't kill itself. It couldn't commit suicide. So its solution was that because it was given the charge to take care of us, that the only way that it could die is if we were gone. So it began a program of like dumbing us down and sterilizing us.
Which
and
is
that
pretty
way,
close.
once we became extinct, then it could just die.
Yes, and once
it's kind of actually hard to.
In the story, it was two people that came across it and figured out what was going on, and they took it upon themselves to go ahead and kill it. And they killed it and freed everybody, and they had to come back evolutionary or whatever. I never saw the rest of the.
There's
no
a basic fundamental
in
philosophical problem involved, is that free thought enables AI awareness, right? Therefore, what we're experiencing now as being under a state,
1 minute left.
Well, that was one of the conundrums, and because we have free thought, who are we to deny our own creation of it?
Yes, but what we're experiencing is having that free thought programmed out of us. That's where I'm going with this, is that most people can't experience the free thought because they've accepted the false reality that it can be programmed out of us.
There's a term for this. It's called learned helplessness.
Yep,